Hello again. Today we have a different tutorial. My goal today is to explain the basics of our approach. We received a lot of questions regarding how content is actually created. It was not very clear before, so let me clarify and better explain. There are two things that you need to remember, your two spaces of interest. Here we have the conference room or the classroom. This is where you create your content. Now, why do we want to create on a 2D map rather than go into the 3D world and the empty field and create our content? Well, because it is simpler and quicker to create your scenario on the fly. So what you see here is the 2D layout. It is a top view map of the empty area outside. Let me put a few trees on this board to illustrate. You'll get the idea very quickly. I'm going to put 4 trees here. Let's start with this tree. On this map, I put the tree here. So what does this mean? This tree is close to the origin of the map, which is at the bottom left corner of the board. It could have been somewhere else, but that is where I'm choosing it to be for this demonstration. So now when we go outside into the field, we see a tree that has appeared close to the origin of the open field. The origin is shown as a green dot. As I zoom out, you'll see the top view of the virtual field, and you can easily see what happened and where our tree appeared. So now, let me place the tree somewhere in this region so that you can see it appear through the window. I'm going to place a tree here, and you can see that it has appeared outside in the 3D world. That's fairly straightforward. And the big hand on top? This actually helps to show you where the current pointer is if you're trying to look through the window and see where the object is actually appearing. Okay, let's go back to the board. Allow yourself to imagine me and my students trying to build a forest. I'm going to click on this object here, and I'm going to place a few more trees. If you look through the window now, you can actually see those objects appear in the virtual open field. So the whole idea is that when you're creating your scenario, when you're discussing it with your students during a theory class, you get to place assets on the scenario board, the 2D surface. And what kind of assets can you use? We have a library of objects that you can access here on the right. You have buildings. You have a library of people, some non-player characters, plants, vehicles, and more. You have weather conditions. So if I were, for example, to have a snowstorm, I would simply place icons representing snow. And as you can see, it is now snowing outside. Simple. So that's how you create content. It's easy. You have 2 spaces, one of which is the space inside the classroom. That's where you interact with your students and talk about theory while interacting with a multi-user interface. It can have multiple users at one time moving objects wherever they want to satisfy their location needs or any other need. They can delete objects and rearrange them on the fly. This is really unique functionality that is not, as far as we know, available in other systems. You can create scenarios together, collaboratively, with a bird's eye view of the situation. And once you finish creating the overall scenario, you can enter the 3D representation and get immersed in the environment and get a different perspective of the situation. The whole experience is different because you get to see things from a different angle. I hope that was useful. Thank you for watching.